Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be my everyday makeup routine. So it's sort of just a get ready with me, and I show you a little bit of how I get ready in the morning. So I do work in an office, so I don't really wear that much makeup. In fact, what I'm wearing right now is a little bit more than what I would wear on a day-to-day basis, but you guys get the idea. So before we get into the video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you're not already subscribed, and let's go ahead and just get right into it. So before I apply my makeup in the morning, I typically use a Clarisonic, and I also use just a regular face wash. I think it's by Mary Kay. And after that, I use that in the shower, and then when I get out of the shower, I use a Mary Kay moisturizer. I'm probably like the only person on YouTube that uses Mary Kay, but honestly, it works really well for me and it works on my skin. The only downside with the moisturizer is that it doesn't have an SPF. So I either have to apply an SPF on top of it, or I have to just rely on the SPF that is in my makeup. So that's the only downside. But that's what I do beforehand, just to prep my skin. I make sure that I moisturize like maybe 10-20 minutes before I apply my makeup, because that just gives it some time to just sink into the skin and just make it nice and smooth for applying makeup. So I will go in with the Becca First Light Priming Filter. I got this stuff a while back, I think in... I don't remember. I think it was in that limited edition BoxyCharm box that you could purchase. It was like a year ago, I think. I don't know. It was a long time ago, but I haven't used all of it. But I'll just, oh my gosh, that came out a lot faster. Typically just dab it on the face if it comes out. And I will use this first before applying any of the makeup. I have this ugly thing right here. I had a white head, and so I picked at it, of course, because that's what I do. So now it just looks like this big old red ugly thing on the top of my lid, but at least it's not a white head anymore. So lately I haven't really been feeling the whole foundation routine, so I haven't really been wearing a lot of foundation, even though I probably should with this little guy right here. But my skin has been pretty clear, and it's been sort of a little bit more radiant than normal. I am almost 30 weeks pregnant, so I think that's helping a little bit. But also, I don't really want to cover up my radiant skin, so to speak, so I haven't really been wearing too much makeup. So lately I've been going in with Tarte Shape Tape Concealer in the shade Fair Neutral. And I just take a little bit and do the under eyes. I feel like I'm running out of this stuff. Of course I'll cover up that guy right there. And then I might bring a little bit up and then on my chin. Just typically wherever my skin is a little bit more red than all the other places, I will apply the Shape Tape Concealer. And then I just go in, and I'm using the wrong side. I don't know why I'm using this side. Normally I use the pointy side, but oh, I'm gonna have to use the pointy side. But normally I just go in and make sure this is all nice and blended out. And from the under eye, I'll bring it on top of the eye as well, on the eyelid, sort of just to act as a primer and just get rid of all the redness that's on my eyelid and all those veins that you see if you don't cover it up. And I'll just sort of bring it down lower. Once I have that all nice and blended, I like to go in with my Bare Minerals Bare Minerals Original Foundation, and this is in the color Fairly Light. And I like to just use I just use the Sigma flat kabuki brush to apply the powder foundation, and it seems to work out really well. I read that if you want more coverage to use these flat top kabuki brushes, and then if you want more of like a sheer or medium coverage to use those, I don't think I have any. But it's the brushes that Bare Minerals has in the starter pack for the original powder foundation. So I just put a little bit into the lid, and then I sort of swirl it around and tap off the excess. And I'll just go in and sort of apply it over that Shape Tape concealer that I just applied. And it seems to really smooth out everything. So I am still working full-time. I work 8 to 5 in an office setting, so I don't really wear too much makeup, mostly because it's not necessary. People don't typically come into the office. I mean, like people of the public. Of course, I see the people who I work with every day. There's only 8 of us in the office, so it's not really that big of a deal. I don't feel the need to have a full face of makeup. So this is just something simple that I do every day just to sort of help even out the skin and make it a little bit smoother. Next, I will take this Butter Bronzer by Physicians Formula. This is in the color Light, so it's a light bronzer. They also have, I think, just a regular bronzer shade. This one's just a little bit lighter because I am a little bit more on the pale side. And then I take this crown brush. I don't know what kind of brush it is, to be completely honest with you guys. And I put a little bit on the brush because honestly, this bronzer goes a very, very long way. So I just put a little bit on, and then I go right under my cheekbones. And I'll also go up on my temples. And I come up on my forehead as well, just to sort of make it appear smaller. I have kind of a big forehead. So putting the bronzer up here apparently gives the illusion that you have a smaller forehead. I don't really wear my hair up very often, so it's not really like it's a big deal anyway, but just to sort of make it nice and glowy on wherever, I put it all up on my forehead. For blush, I go back and forth between Tarte and this Milani Baked Blush. This is in the color Luminoso. So what I like about this one is that it has some highlight in it as well. So when you apply it to the cheeks, it sort of gives like a glowy finish and it's not so matte. So since the rest of me is looking really matte right now, I like to go in with this blush because it just sort of like brightens everything up. For eyes, I just keep it super simple, just to give depth to the eyes. I'll just go in, sometimes I go in with the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer that I used earlier and just sort of go on the crease of the eye, and that just sort of brightens it up and gives it a little bit of a dimension on your eyes. But for the sake of this video, I'll do a little bit more than I normally do, so I'll just go in with this Jaclyn Hill palette. I don't really use it very often because, quite frankly, I don't wear a lot of makeup very often, but we'll just play around here a little bit. So I'm just gonna apply this shade. I don't know what the color of it is. It's not in front of me, but I used this guy right here. You can see that. Yeah. So if I were to just stop right there, which I normally do if I'm just doing the Butter Bronzer. Normally I just stop right there, but I'm going to apply a little bit more today, which not very much more, but I'm gonna go ahead and just do this little shimmer shade right here. And I'm gonna take it on my ring finger and just sort of put it all over the eyelid. I do like this palette for everyday looks. I think that you can get so much out of it too. So you can do everyday looks, you can do nighttime, you can do, I don't know, smoky eyes. I mean, I don't really play around with makeup as much as I used to anymore. I just haven't really had the time and sort of lost a little bit of interest in it, but I do think that this is still a really great palette. I know people haven't been happy with her lately, but the original Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette is really good in my opinion. The color payoff is there, they're buttery, easy to apply, they're for beginners. I just really like them a lot, but that's besides the point of this video. So let's go ahead and keep going, shall we? I'm just gonna apply that same brown shade from the top lid, and I'm just gonna bring it down a little bit here. For eyebrows, I don't do too much. I just like to fill in the little bare spots and just make sure that it's kind of a nice, even, cohesive look for the brow. So I'm just gonna use Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz like normal in the color taupe. And I'm just gonna brush them up so that I can see where I need to fill them in. So I'm just gonna come down here, do a little bit of strokes down here, and just pull it through the tail of the eyebrow. So that is it for the eyebrows. For lashes, I typically just curl them a little bit with my curling wand here. Lately for mascara, I've been using Lancome Monsieur Big. I need to get that pronunciation correct. I like it okay. I mean, I know some people have really raved about this mascara. I like that it's wet, if that makes sense, so it's not like sticky or anything, and it really does sort of curl the eyelashes. I think I just have a problem with eyelashes. I don't know, I can't ever make mine big and curled and whatnot, so I don't know, I think that they're just too short. For lips, I typically only just use chapstick when I'm going to work. So I don't really apply any lipstick or lip gloss or anything like that. I don't really see the need for it. But again, for the sake of this video, let's go ahead and just apply a little bit of lip color. So I'm just gonna use this NYX Whipped Fouette. Anyway, this is in the color Pink Cloud. So I think this can actually be used, yeah, it can be used as a lip color and a cheek color. So we're just gonna use it on the lips for now. I'm gonna use a tiny bit. And yeah, so that is it. So that is essentially my everyday makeup routine. I did throw in a little bit in there that I don't normally do, but that's okay. You guys get the idea. And I told you what I normally use on a day-to-day basis. So that's typically how I get my everyday makeup look. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!